Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
And I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
And this is
Messy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Messy. I'm Jamie.
And I'm Christina.
And we are joined today by, how do I describe this woman? Because she has so many roles in my life. She is my twin sister from another lifetime, we learned. She is one of my best friends. She is a matchmaker. She introduced me to my husband. She is a person who I've gone to consistently as a source of inspiration, as a source of hope. She's let me fall apart in her arms. She's lifted me up. She's cheered me on. She's just one of the best people I've ever met in the world. Also another gift from Mr. Lance Bass. Please welcome to the podcast, the lovely, incredible JoAnna Garcia Swisher.
Hello. I was going to say, you're talking about me, right, James? And then I was like, then the part of she lifted me up, I was like, wah, wah, not me. Hi, JoAnna.
That is not true.
Hi, JoAnna.
Welcome to the show, Boo.
Oh my God, I already am crying.
No.
Thanks for having me. I am so excited. Like I said, I'm already crying.
You know, I want to start with, I feel like I know obviously so much about you, Jo, but Christina asks a question to many of our guests that I love, that I feel like I might learn some things about you. So I'm going to hand it off to her for a minute.
So we started doing this and I started to really think about the people that we're talking to, and something that we really don't know a lot about our beautiful guests is, who's little JoAnna? Who is what did your shoes look like at 10 years old? If you looked down right now and you could see little JoAnna's shoes, what did they look like? What music were they listening to? What was home like? Little teeny tiny, before all the things happened, in your career, your success, all this stuff. Who's little JoAnna?
I wore clogs, loved a fucking clog. Which is interesting because I went to a school that was very outdoor focused and not a place where a kid should wear a clog. And I remember being ostracized for that. They were like, this isn't appropriate shoes to wear to school. And I was like, but this is the shoe that I want to wear. I definitely struggled a little bit when I was younger. I got picked on a lot. Things kind of started to turn around a little bit for me when I got into middle school, but elementary school was pretty rough. Which I'm sure is, trauma that I'm still unpacking. Not surprising that I went into a business that was all about please pick me. And I just I marched to the beat of my own drum. Apparently, I don't remember this, but I was very certain that I was going to do something with my life that took me out of the city. And I told teachers now, my kids actually go to the same school that I went to. And one of the teachers is still there. And so she talks a lot to my girls about what I was like, which I don't even remember. She was my first grade teacher. I don't even remember. It's kind of embarrassing, but I was very certain. I was like, I'm going places in my life. I'm going to be out of here. And then I remember my mom was fierce about defending me, to the point where I'm sure it was embarrassing. I know it was embarrassing a little bit at the time. And I have that tendency a little bit with my girls now, where I'm I want to kind of get in there and meddle a little bit. But I don't, because they are very clear by saying, please don't tell anybody I'm telling you this. But so I remember my mom would kind of go in there guns blazing and be like, these girls are so mean to her, and that kind of stuff. And so that was little old me.
It feels like a pattern with I don't know about you, Jamie, but when I was in elementary school, I felt so alone, even though I had so many friends, and I felt picked on too. And it's is that where the creatives come from?
Yeah.
Art, being off to the side and kind of watching to make sure it felt safe to go in. Did you feel like that? I got to feel it's safe to go in to the crowd of kids.
Yeah, I still feel that way a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't really go in guns blazing. My husband does. I always like, and my younger daughter is a lot like that. Like the Kool-Aid guy that like busts through the wall and is like, "What's up? I'm here. Take it or leave it. I don't really care what you think of me," kind of vibe is horrifying to me. And my husband's a lot like that. I'm more just like kind of, take it all in. Please like me. All of the shit that's like just a complete waste of time in life in general.
But something that so many of us feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially women. I feel like, it's a different world for these little girls coming into their own voices and I had really great parents. But I just feel like we weren't even acknowledging that like we were feeling a certain way. I guess that's what I wasn't giving myself like the space, the opportunity, the self-reflection to be able to be like, okay, this is sort of what you're feeling or whatever. It was just like you're kind of in it, which is adolescence in general. And there's a beauty to that. I do think there's a beauty to that. But I also think like if you can kind of be more aware of it, you can get more from it.
Well, I think the beauty of it is one of the most beautiful things about you, Jo, is like the way that you're able to see the world and you're able to accept everybody, and the compassion and the empathy that you have for everybody around you, I think comes from an experience of, feeling like an underdog or an outsider or having sort of a different view than being in the center of it all, So I think it is very much adolescence, but I also think it serves you. And I think that you've allowed it to serve you really well. And so when you say that you knew you were going places, you knew there were greater things you were going to do, did you know it was acting? Like when did acting become the thing for you?
I think it came maybe simultaneously, and just knowing that was a creative outlet. And Christina, maybe you feel this way because you spent so much, you're so funny. And equally as beautiful. Like you have this like special kind of like, it's like a magic sauce, if you will. But do you think that the way we grew up and sort of those experiences helped in the comedy? Because I do feel like, cutting my teeth on a sitcom when I was a young actress, like it really helped to have that messiness from before.
I mean, for me, I was such a serious kid. And like I said, I was the kid that sat there and cried in school, in class, like got my feelings hurt constantly.
Yeah.
And then I go into doing comedy really mostly for the first time with Married. And I felt like an outsider there for a long time until then I kind of learned stuff, but that I also learned that comedy was my coping mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
And
Me too.
It's how I deal. But deep down inside, I'm like ripped to shreds, like I'm ripped to shreds and have put my, that thing on. But it also helps me because it makes me laugh. Like, even if you don't find me funny, I'm cracking my own self up.
Yes.
And I'm also very, very fucking aware of how traumatized I am by so many things, just I have total self-awareness that I'm completely fucked up. But if I can get through the day by making my own self laugh, then I've done something good. And I was also going to say about the Kool-Aid man, that's my daughter. I don't know where she gets it from.
It's wild, right? You're like, oh, don't. But then I'm like, do it.
Do it. But who are you? Like, what?
Yes.
Where did you come from? She's like, hello, here's my shirt that says something really fucking inappropriate on it. And I don't really care in front of adults. And you're like, ah.
Totally. Oh, I have one of those.
You do. You certainly do. And we love her for it.
And she loves her Aunt Jamie. She worships you.
Don't get me started on my say. So one of the things that, we have here in this messy community is a place to share what we're going through. One of the things that we talk at length about is grief. We have talked a lot about grief. We have held each other's hands through a lot. Your experience of losing both your parents, who I loved so much, we all did, in such a short period of time was so hard to watch as your friend, but also quite beautiful, because to see you really go through that experience and really allow yourself the time and the space to really go through it and not rush yourself through it, even though you were starring on a hit show on Netflix at the time, like, and being a mother and being all the things that you were deeply grieving. And it feels like very recently you have, not come out on the other side, but like have started to really beautifully integrate your grief into your life. And I'm so proud of you and inspired by you for that. And I would just love for you to kind of share with our listeners your experience and what you learned about yourself and what you leaned on and the things that you found helped you through that time and that still do.
Yeah. Well, I think the acknowledgement that my life is like irrevocably like changed forever. Like it was pre this and post this. And the space that created for me to kind of sit with that, and it felt like I stopped bucking the reality of it, and I was allowed to kind of just settle into what the new normal is. And I mean, obviously, intimately the support system that I had and still do.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think like, and this is just an insight sort of into our relationship, but like we get really messy, all of us together, our core women. It's like the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And to be able to, be everything kind of in between, I certainly I've not navigated any of this alone, and just sort of accepted I think my relationship with my parents post losing them, and how I connect to them spiritually, and the way that I hear them in my head and my dreams and all of those kind of things has sort of I settled a little bit more into that relationship as well. But grief is a part of life, and loss, and navigating that. And I think that just allowing myself the grace to feel it and accept it, like almost just let it wash all over me.
Yeah.
It's my reality. They're never going to be here again in that way. And really trying to, with that acknowledgement and understanding how it's going to inform who I am moving forward.
You're probably wondering why I'm like crying right now. I'm sorry.
My
dad just passed away a week ago. So, and
Christina,
this is the first time I've really cried. I think kind of like I wasn't allowing myself to have that yet. Too busy with this, too busy with that. We knew he was going to die. Is that an excuse for not feeling because you kind of know that someone's going to go and you've said your goodbyes? But I'm like, literally, like before you came on, Jamie was like, I hope this doesn't trigger. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be good. And now I'm like,
but it's actually
like,
good.
Insanely sad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is insanely sad. And, they are a tether. I felt very untethered.
Yeah.
And I don't know the relationship that you had with your dad, but, my relationship with my dad he's a soulmate. And my mom was my best friend. My dad was a soulmate. And, it's it's a gateway. And it's like, it's almost like there's a mortality thing that comes into it, and your own mortality. And just like, I definitely felt like I am not grown up enough to not have parents to lean on. Like, how am I going to have the answers to this? Like, even just navigating puberty with my oldest and, wanting so badly to like, what was I like? There's so many of those questions that I feel so insanely cheated that I don't have them to even just make me like, you were like that, or you went through something similar that I don't even remember. This is how you navigated it. Like, just an answer to a question is what I find to be the most painful part of it.
Yeah.
And that's like, forget that, we just had my niece's confirmation, and my brother had like a little small dinner for her. We had this hibachi guy come over, and I was taking shots of sake out of a warm water gun, and we're all sitting out in the back patio and like laughing. And I just like looked at my brother and I was like, we're doing it. Like, we're doing it. I wish they were here because my mom and dad would have been so happy that day. I know they were, just in a different way.
Support comes from calm. Do you ever feel like your mind is running in a dozen directions at once? God, I hope so, because that's how I feel. My thoughts feel scattered, and even sometimes the smallest decisions can feel so overwhelming. But I can promise you, with just 5 minutes a day with calm, it can help you slow down. It can help you clear your head. It can help you make choices and also feel more confident. Calm is the #1 app for sleep and meditation, and it's giving you the power to calm your mind and change your life. Look, we all face very unique challenges in our daily lives. And that's why Calm offers a wide range of content and programs that help you navigate life's ups and downs. They have everything from guided meditations that can help you work through anxiety and stress, or help you boost your focus, or help build healthier habits. Then they have things like sleep stories and sleep meditations and calming music, which can help you drift off to restful sleep quickly and naturally. They have grounding exercises that can help you reset and relax when you're feeling overwhelmed. They also have these great expert-led talks to help you handle grief, improve self-esteem, improve relationships, and more. The Calm app puts the tools you need right in your pocket, so stress and anxiety relief is always within reach. Calm has over 2 million 5-star reviews and can help you stress less, sleep more, and live better. Calm has an exclusive offer just for our listeners of our show. You can get 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/messy. This is an amazing value, guys. So go to calm.com/messy for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. Calm.com/messy, and tell Calm you heard about them from us.
I'm so sorry. I know, Jamie, I'm just want to finish this
please.
like thought.
I want you to talk.
Is
Yes.
because, I didn't grow up with my dad. He and my mom separated when I was like 5 months old, but he's been in my life ever since. And I have 2 beautiful siblings and an amazing stepmother but he wasn't part of my, like, the lessons part of life.
Yes.
And my mom, as wonderful as she is, also lovingly, Nancy, pretty, I love you so much, but your tools were a little off. But instinctively as parents, you're either going to right the wrongs of them before or take what they have. But honestly, I feel like us, we're doing such a better job. I'm sorry. Than
Without
so
a doubt.
never ever think that you don't have the answers, because your answers are coming organically and they're coming from the universe and from spirit or whatever. I just want you to know that, because
Thank you.
You want to like ask them, but you know it inside what is right for the individual, because our kids are all very different and there is no rule book for each and every one of them. That's all I had to say. Now I'm going to shut up.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, and that is the like that as time goes on, it you start to have more confidence in that and sort of settle into that, because there's what's the choice, I can't cease to exist. And I know they wouldn't want me to do that. And in a way, I remember when my dad, I had to take both of my parents off life support and make that decision. And my dad died pretty quickly. My mom took 18 hours. And equally as traumatic, but we won't go into that. But I remember when my dad, he had come out of surgery and he was breathing over the ventilator. And so we were about to remove him from the ventilator, and all of a sudden his organs started to crash. But I had walked outside and I didn't realize what was happening. My brother came out and he was like, this is sort of what's happening. And I was like, what? No, he's breathing over the vent. Like, I was just like, we're good. And he's like, no, he's actively, he's dying, and we're going to, we need to talk about taking him off life support. And I whispered in his ear that he was so diligent about taking care of his family and the people that he loved, especially my mom, who was sick at the time. And I whispered in his ear that to not worry, that I would be okay, and I would help carry on that legacy of making sure everybody was okay. And he physically breathed in this huge breath, and he hadn't been doing that. And then he died probably 20 or 30 minutes later in a room full of people that loved him. But I know, that was the last, he knew that I was going to be okay. And I said that I was obviously going to take care of my mom and stuff like that.
You've kept that promise, Jo.
As best I can.
You have done it so beautifully. And, when you talked about feeling untethered, it's so weird. I'm literally staring at the untethered soul right in front of my face. It was so, it was scary to watch as your friend, because you were always in our friend group, Jo was the pillar. We all met at Jo's house. We all went to her for advice. You were the solid one. And I know that a lot of why you feel you were the solid one was because of your parents, especially your dad. But to see you feel that way was incredibly difficult as your friend. Was it when you were deep in the beginning stages of that grief and you were frightened? What did you do? Where did you turn, or did you just sit in it, or all the things?
A little bit of both. I think that's where, the faith in just taking the next right step, the next best step came in. It was almost blind. At a certain point you were just okay, I just gotta put one foot in front of the other. And I didn't think too far ahead. And I also had this I always was so afraid. I was, raised in a Cuban household. We talk about death a lot, right? But I hadn't really lost anybody up until that point. And I was afraid of, just people would always be like, oh my God, I can't believe you're going through this. This is literally the most unimaginable, worst thing I can imagine. I'm so close with my parents. And while I do not begrudge them of that feeling, I was always like, well, yeah, must be just living your fucking worst reality. That's just little of me over here. I just would what would come to my mind was that, well, yes, it is also, it's not my worst reality. Losing my children is my worst reality. But it sucks. And I just reminded them that I didn't think that I would ever be able to get through this, and I am. And so to have faith in our strength and actually our ability to endure as humans, is the capacity is tremendous if we just believe that.
I feel like what's so beautiful, what you have done, and I'm sure we're going to get into this big time in this conversation, is making a platform for trauma for you. And I know it usually starts for yourself, right? It's like messy
Yeah.
started for us.
Mm-hmm.
We needed to just talk. So I don't know if are we talking about Happy Place yet? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just very excited about like turning these things into a place that I'm sure originally started as a place for you to heal, but now you're healing people. And I don't know, James.
Yeah. And, you know, I think it's just so beautiful and wild. Like grief is the same. The way you're speaking about your experience with grief and losing your parents and like the things that you needed to do, the way you just went blindly, didn't think too far ahead. Like it's the same type of grief that we feel about what we're dealing with MS. Like grief is truly universal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was so grateful to you to be willing to have this conversation with us, because I think that that's like what we're with Messy here. It's not just about MS. Like the things that we're talking about are so universal. When life slaps you in the face, pulls the rug out from under you, where do you go? What do you do? How do you move on? Where does this will come from? So much of it, yes, is community and what we're trying to create here. But what Christina is saying and what you are, so when you graciously share the way you're doing, what you're doing is going so much beyond yourself. And I'm just really proud of you. I really am.
I was gonna say, you say slap in the face, and you know what came into my head?
What?
I call it stabbing in the vagina. Like, I just think it's way worse than a slap in the face. Sorry.
Not the good kind of stab in the vagina.
No, not
one with the knife.
Not a good pounding, guys. Just a real fucked up fucker of a time.
Knife. Yeah,
Sorry.
a weapon.
Yeah, like a literal weapon.
I saw a quote from you, and it's so beautiful, where you said that grief is a journey. There's no real destination to get to with grief. Like there's no end to the grief. There's no like do the work and then you get here and you're done. And you had said that while that sounds daunting and heartbreaking, when you surrender to it, it can enrich you and your life in a lot of ways. And so could you sort of talk more about that? Because grief comes in waves, right? You think you're doing well and then it'll hit you again. And it's kind of like you've got to start over with these things that you find help you through.
Yeah. I think that it's interesting. Very early on, I mean, it might have been weeks after my dad, or maybe a month. Jamie, I don't know if you remember when we went to Miraval, right? Like it was like January, right after my dad died. I had gone with like Odie and they got me a grief counselor. And so my dad's funeral was very traumatizing for me. It's actually the last time that I've walked into a Catholic church since then. The priest was not great and was kind of just being a jerk. And I had imagined how I was going to give my dad's eulogy, which was very important. I knew it was going to be very difficult, but it was very important to me. And I imagined that my dad's casket was going to be by me. I've been to many Catholic funerals. I get it. I don't want anybody to write you guys and say that I don't understand the rites of like how the funeral goes and the process of it. But I had never been in all the funerals that I had been to in the Catholic Church, never been to a funeral where the eulogy didn't take place with the body next to them. So the processional had already started and whatnot. Well, this person informed me that he did not feel comfortable with that. That's not technically the right way. And that I was going to have to basically, before his whole show was going to start and before my dad entered into the sanctuary, that's when I was going to have to give the eulogy. And I was livid. I mean, pacing. I heard my dad's voice being like, calm down. My brother was there like, holy shit, Jo has lost her mind. I looked at this man. I was like, you're a monster, essentially is what I said to him. I was like, I can't believe that you're hanging your hat on this. Like this is cruel. And it is what it is. And whatever. He had every right to feel this way. And to, do the funeral in the way that he saw fit. But I thought it was cruel. And I clearly am still dealing with that. But cut to a month later, I go to Miraval in Austin. I get this grief counselor. She happens to be a woman that is like really high up in the Catholic Church. And in Texas. And I'm like, of all places, like, why am I talking to this woman? And I know it was my dad basically putting this woman in my life to be like, let it fucking go. And she'll explain to you why this whole thing and just like, let it go and whatever. But she said also something really interesting to me. And she said, as Americans, we don't do a great job of grieving. And it's a lot like being in ICU. And ICU is very tenuous situation. You're very, very sick. You're around the clock care. And then you get better. You get out of your bed and you can walk. Maybe you can like walk from your bed to the bathroom, but then you have to go back to bed. And then maybe you get to days where you can walk around the halls, but then you've got to go back to bed. And then sometimes you're released from ICU and, you know, released from the hospital, but then sometimes you have to go right back. And she said, that is grief. And just know that that is sort of like, there's no 12-step program. You know, that the stages of grief, like all of this idea that it's a destination is bullshit. It's all bullshit. And it sets us up to fail or to feel like we're failing. And I just don't accept it. And it was such a beautiful realization in that moment. I was so deeply grieving. Like it was not even, I didn't know my name barely in that time. But I took that very seriously. And it's not to say that there aren't like now, am I in ICU all the time? No, but a couple times a year I am.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say like, so Jamie and I have talked ad nauseum about this on here and where then I get angry and Jamie knows when I lay back, it's when I get really angry about stuff. And it's because whoever made the 5 stages of grief, which we have researched, yes, there is a person. It's bullshit. Yes. And it's making you feel like, oh, I'm supposed to now just be done with these emotions. I'm supposed to now just be done with my feelings. And you're going to have it at the one to the guilt, to the thing and acceptance. And that's not how it works. And we talk about that a lot because I've been in my grieving process now for 4 years and I'm not giving myself like a timeline because you know what? I'll feel okay one day. And guess what? In about a month, I'm going to be back to stage 1, getting pissed off about having MS again. So I love that you're talking about this because I think it's really important for everyone to hear this, whatever religion you are, whatever spiritual practice you are, that it's not that we have to stay in this, but you're going to get hit to the side sometimes. And that's okay. Give yourself a pass. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a loss. And it's because it's the presence of love. I mean, grief, you can't have grief without having had love or love. And I think that, you know, in watching Jamie as you've navigated having MS and all that comes with it, and talk about someone who's navigated grief in such a massive way. I mean, everybody that knows you and Christina, I know so many people that know and love you so dearly. It's like, it's a real thing. There's no like toxic positivity about it. Our grief for watching the love that we have for you all and seeing that, you know, watching you navigate the grief of what your life was, what the days that are harder, how do you know, navigate all these things? It's all the same. It's all just this feeling of loss and love for yourself, love for the life that you had, love for when your body felt different, love for a parent that you've lost. It's all the like it's really fucking hard and it's real and it's not, it's never ending. And that's not, and I don't mean that in like the most depressing way ever. It's, you know, how do we endure in spite of? And also the idea that we have to sort of use our whatever to fucking do something is also really something that I've struggled with. I'm like, I don't find like losing my mom and dad, it's made me, you know, more of, you know, an empathetic person or a better actress or whatever. Like, that's all bullshit too. You know, we're all in a real time, like we're all living life in a real way. And I think I read something the other day and I'm going to butcher it, but you'll get what I mean. The frequency of love, I would have guessed, was the largest like frequency that we can emit out of our bodies, right? That's what I would have put my money on and my life on. But they've like scientifically proven that the frequency of authenticity is like 4,000 times more powerful than love. And that is literally, for me, it was like church bells ringing in my head. It was like, yes, that's all I want. I want to be able to be real and to be genuine. And I don't, especially doing what we do for a living, we play these characters and we have this sort of like, shiny images and all of that. And it's just, that feels like stale energy to me. I love that people enjoy what I do for work. I love being able to do what I do for work. But what I really want people is to know me and to feel me. That's not to say that I don't have private parts of my life. I'm not an overshare. If you go on my Instagram, you will clearly see that I like barely share anything. That's not that. But when I want to only do jobs that connect with people in that way. I don't want to do things that don't feel that right now. And I think that's also part of my journey.
So I was going to say, we have a job that we're not allowed to have all this stuff. You can't feel those things when you go to work, right? You can't bring it all with you. Even if you have 103 fever. I mean, now it's a little different because of COVID, but like,
trust me.
remember the days that when you're like,
fevers.
like barking into something and being like, and action.
And you're like getting shot up with some steroid in your ass.
Yeah, like in
or
your
something,
neck and like
yes.
B12 shots.
They're like, get on out there.
Get it together, bitch. And you're
good?
like, okay.
Oh my God. I really appreciate you saying that because
So
I work
true.
with younger actors now and they're like, we have a tickle. I don't feel comfortable. And I'm like, get out
You're
there.
like,
Get out there. I don't care about your tickle.
Springtime is a great time to declutter your home, but it's also a great time to refresh your gut and your nutrition and daily habits. And I do that every day, first thing in the morning with my pre and probiotics in AG1. It helps support my digestion. It gives me all the vitamins and minerals and adaptogens that I need all in one really tasty drink. AG1 can help with everything from your digestion to your energy levels, your skin health. It can help you with cravings and so many more things. I've been drinking AG1 for a few years now, and I love it as part of my morning routine. I love knowing that first thing in the morning, I am shaking it in my great bottle that AG1 gave me, putting in my powder. It tastes great, and I'm giving myself all the things I need to start my day. AG1 was shown to enrich the gut microbiome, more than doubling the levels of healthy bacteria known to bolster digestion. And with regular use over 3 months, AG1 was seen to positively impact feelings of calm, energy, and improved digestion. When it comes to my health, I want something I can trust, and that's why I chose AG1. With science-backed ingredients and real benefits I can feel, AG1 makes it easy to support overall wellness every day, and that's why we've been partnering with AG1 for so long. And AG1 is now offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/messy to get this offer. That is drinkag1.com/messy to start your new year on a healthier note.
Support for Messy comes from Sleep Number.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love my Sleep Number bed. Why? Because it adapts to my needs that kind of change from day to day. Like sometimes I have sore muscles. Sometimes I'm waking up too hot. Hello, perimenopause. I can use the science that they have for my sleep to effortlessly adjust to optimize my comfort. So whether I'm needing it softer, whether I'm needing my mattress firmer, whether I need it cooler or warmer, I can enjoy my best sleep because it's made right for me. So there are 3 smart reasons why Sleep Number is made for you. Again, you can personalize your comfort. So your side of the bed, the way that you like firmness, you can change whenever or however you like. You can stay cool because they have their Climate Series smart beds that cool up to 20 times faster than any leading competitor. And it helps you stay asleep because it responds and adjusts to you all night. You will sleep just right with that True Temp bedding that they have, designed to move heat and humidity away. They have cool at the touch of a button with a dual temp layer that can be added to any bed and any side. And all their Sleep Number smart beds feature cooling layers for soothing sleep throughout the night. So why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. It is the only bed that lets you make each side firmer or softer whenever you like your Sleep Number setting. Sleep Number beds start at $999 and exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details. Speaking of kids, something I think that the both of you do, and I don't know if this is just because you have daughters and I have like boys and it's harder for boys to like talk about feelings and emotions, but like you both are such wonderful mothers and you both have daughters, and I've watched you both create such a beautiful space for your children to express their feelings. I mean, like, talk about like doing it in the right way, like the way it wasn't done for you. Like the way the Christina and Sadie's relationship is so incredibly beautiful and inspiring, and the bond that they have and the comfortability as a teenage girl that she had, like she wants to hang out with her mom and talk to her about what she's feeling. And your girls are the same. Was that a conscious effort on your part, or is that just you being your raw, real, authentic selves in front of them and not hiding your feelings and then sort of teaching them by example?
That's for you, JoAnna.
It's for me. I definitely, look, I don't want my kids to bear the burdens of adulthood. I want them to experience, the simplicity of childhood, but I very openly grieved in front of my children. They openly grieved. And even when I'm feeling frustrated or, just the other day, I was on the phone, I got some disappointing news, and I was trying to get my kids dressed to go to dinner. We were on a little girls trip. And I threw a pair of like a sweater and a pair of jeans at Emmy, and she's like, "I'm not wearing that." And I'm on the phone and I'm like, "Fucking put it on." And she was like, "I'm not wearing that. I don't want to wear jeans. I want to wear this." And I was like, "We're not going out to dinner like that." And I was like, just put the fucking jeans on. And I just hung up the phone. I said, "Emmy, I'm so sorry. I don't know. This is what I've packed for you. You didn't pack yourself. I don't know what you want to wear to dinner, but right now I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I just got some disappointing news. I'm trying to process it. Give me a minute." And she came and gave me the biggest hug. And she's like, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'll wear the jeans." And I was like, "You don't have to wear the jeans. You can honestly wear whatever you want, but just like cut the shit." And I was just honest with her about how I felt in that moment. And I feel like with Emmy especially, and Christina, I don't know if you feel like this with Sadie, but like,
oh, I have a story for you from this week, so we'll get there.
Please make me feel better, because I did feel bad in that. I was like, did I just dump this like crap on her? But like, she operates like a lot like me. I operate really well with information. So when I feel like things are happening around me that I'm like, oh God, is like someone struggling, or I'm not, or are they like not telling me everything? Like it kind of puts me in a not my best place. And that's Emmy. So when she just kind of understands like a little bit more of the real time, whatever, I didn't obviously explain what I was like navigating, but she knew I was struggling with an emotion. So rather than just like telling her to shut up and put the jeans on, because that's what I packed, we just had like a moment. And so that's like it's like a new kind of phase in our relationship. And she's, 11, almost 12. And so we're kind of entering into that.
You have so much more fun stuff to happen.
I'm actually terrified.
Yay, Hercules.
She asked me today, she told me that one of her friends got her period. And I said, that's really cool that your friends talk about that. I was like, that's unusual that, you know, a lot of times young girls don't feel like they can like share that. And I said, that's so cool that your friend was generous enough to like offer you up that she, you know, she had just gotten her period and she had to kind of like an accident to happen. And she said to her, well, that's probably why I was so mean to my mom this morning. And Emmy goes, am I going to be mean to you? And I was like, well, yeah. I said, just
I'm
like,
sorry,
be
JoAnna.
there, like, be there for your dad.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I said, you know, hormones are a wild thing.
Keep a calendar, because then you'll know, like, oh shit, my kid hates me. Oh no.
Oh, it's not
No, she
personal.
doesn't hate me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She did. She said it just this morning. She's like, am I going to be mean to you? I was like,
All the boys in my house know exactly that week before.
Yes. And they're like,
I'm already training them
love you,
for
Mom.
the future.
I'm in menopause, so I'm in it all the time. But what I was going to say to you is that my daughter's 14. And anyway, she's on a DC trip right now for her school. And it was raining. And I had said, okay, here's your pack list. This is what you're going to get to with your kids. I know they're 11, but once they're 13, like they have to like doing it themselves. There's a pack list. Come on. We already told you, like, don't touch the hot stove. And if they touch the hot stove, kind of on them at that point.
Exactly.
Like, so sorry, you have 3rd-degree burns. I told you not to do that. So she's in DC. It's raining like crazy. This was just like 2 days ago. And I get the message from one of the chaperones. Well, I might have to go buy her new clothes and shoes. And I was like, no, be wet.
Yeah.
It said in the thing to pack boots. You did not pack boots. Not my problem.
Yep. Oh,
I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm just telling you because
but it's so true.
At some point, you kind of just have to do that. But also, she lost the mother that she knew forever 4 years ago, and they do feel that, and then they kind of overcompensate by not being empathetic in a weird way. It's like their coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel? Well, she's 11. Oh, wait till the next 2 years. You're gonna have so much fun. No, it's gonna be fine. But you can either be, do you want to take the advice from people that say, don't be your kid's friend and just be their parent? I tend to err on the side of be their confidant.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't you want them to tell you everything?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I appreciate it. We had our little friend over for dinner recently, and she was like talking about her friend had like this like boy in the class, and her friend had these like wide eyes, and she goes, oh, I tell my mom everything, but don't worry, she won't tell anybody. And I was like, oh, I'm really doing it over here.
You are.
So I hope she always feels like she can talk to me about stuff like that, and that's why I'm so like keenly aware of not trying to solve her problems. You know, I don't want to do that for her. She has it in her. And then the little one's just like a maniac. So we'll see what happens there.
But I mean, I need to do more of that because I tend to want to solve all of, like, especially Beau's problems. You know, I want to tell him what he should do. And then I've been actively just trying to listen and just let him know that I'm there for him, but make him understand that he has it within himself to handle it, because that is the greatest gift you can give your child.
Beau is the best.
This is a sort of a hard left, Jo, but I want you to tell our listeners about the Happy Place, because it has been such a labor of love. You have worked so hard at creating this company, and to see the way it's organically grown into now a production company, like everything that you have done, you're fucking doing it. And I'm so proud of you. And I want to blow it up even more than it already is. I just want you to tell everybody about it because they need to know.
I mean, we call it a destination where it celebrates like the moments, like the spaces, places, and moments that bring you the greatest joy. But there's also this whole middle area of just doing life. And I feel like once I stopped focusing so much on curating the space and I kind of leaned into the community, it turned into something that I never expected. It was like I'm going to try this because this sounds interesting to me. Are you interested in it? And it's sort of taken on a life of its own. And it really is this cool community where we like read smutty romance novels and we're not really trying to be anything that we aren't. And I'm just kind of sharing things that I find to be interesting. And sometimes that's makeup and sometimes that's smoothies and very easy recipes for the simple chef that I am or cook that I am. But it's just like I want it to feel like a place of being real. And I talked a little bit about, authenticity and connection. I want that to be a place where people feel connected. And people talk about like social media being like a great connector and it can also be so rough, but it's like, and we aren't trying to be anything that we aren't. We are as real as hell. And we try things that I think might be interesting. And if they kind of don't play, then we don't do them anymore. It's really just this like constant relationship with this community that we've created. And it's not always happy. I've shared my grief. I've shared my anxiety. I've shared the real of all of it. And I think that as we've now started to go into production with things that we like, it's like, it's not we're making things that are exciting to us, that we feel like are universal themes that make you feel less alone or make you feel butterflies in your stomach or question your faith, question your just doing life. We just are wanting to do life with the people that follow along. And it's been my greatest, in terms of my career, the greatest joy for me. And it's saved me in many times when I've thought about my saddest moments. I thought, how can I share this in a way that may connect with somebody? And in many ways, and what you guys are doing here it's because it's all about connecting. And again, it's all about being real. And I think that I don't know if like you guys are, I know Jamie, you're into astrology, but like we're coming into a new era of existing where it's very clear that it's the way that we have a choice. We can leave all that behind and move through this, not in a perfect way, but just say, okay, that energy is no longer serving us. And how can we move forward in a way that is all about connection and all about, doing it together?
I was going to ask you this question. What you were talking about with artistry and like healing and stuff, like, do you feel that like if we lose that sense of being broken, are we going to lose our sense of tapping into something creative? The
Yeah.
best artists, the best painters, oftentimes with a tragic end, but hopefully not. Do we feel that like authentically being happy, that we may lose this something?
Yeah.
And I'm not asking for me. I'm asking just because I want to know what you have to say about that.
Well, I don't even know if it's being happy all the time. I think it's just being honest.
Yeah.
And like that is what, that center of connection is moment by moment. And it's as real as it gets. And I've also found too, this is just something I'm just, thinking personally, as I've stepped into the role of producer, I know I'm very comfortable as an actress and sort of navigating my career and that kind of stuff because I've done it my whole life. But as a producer, you have so many different responsibilities and you're kind of juggling. It's like, the circus act, right? And I have found that I have no patience for this old way of like, well, we don't really ask those questions and we don't do that, or we're going to kind of wait to kind of get to that place. And I'm like, but why? But why? Why can't you just say, is this what you want? Or what can I do? How can I navigate this? Is there a better way of doing it? And that is sort of like the vulnerability of saying, I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm just learning, but I'm trying this on for size because maybe this is just my style and this is who I am. But it does take people off guard. And so I'm kind of giving myself, I'm like in this, and I don't even think that was the right answer to your question, but it's just something that I thought to say, is that trusting a little bit more on the inside, but it all comes from a place of vulnerability. Just saying honestly what I'm thinking in the moment. And I do find that it's just like the creativity that comes from that, the creativity like that blossoms from talking to a executive or a creative or a development person that like necessarily isn't really tapping into the project in the same way that you are, whatever it may be. It helps like level the playing field a little bit where you can get into like it's almost disarming.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, oh, wait, hold on. I imagine the conversation was going to go this way, but she's just being honest with me. I just literally had this conversation last week with some executives. I was like, you know, I work really well with this style of communication and like, I'll run through a brick wall for you if you just tell me the real and like that kind of stuff. And people don't talk like that, I find. Anywhere. We're all hiding behind the shit that we have and this idea of what we need to be, and especially in our business. And I'm just kind of over it. And I feel like that's that when I think of the happy place, it's like, I just kind of want to be me, for better or for worse.
I swear to God, this is the last thing I'm going to say.
I love
because
it.
I'm going to praise.
I'm
I'm praising Jamie right now because when we first started talking, she said, set up boundaries and advocate for yourself.
Yes.
And that was fucking huge because I'm like the Boy Scout or the Girl Scout or some scout. Let's not be gender weird. A scout. Okay.
You're a scout.
Like, I will do whatever you want and whatever time, and I will push through all my bullshit and never complain and never whatever. And it's not to say that you're complaining, but to advocate for oneself and to set boundaries and to be honest and to be authentic. I have no time for inauthenticity anymore. And I love that you're saying that because that, especially for women, that we've got to be able to be like, hey, dudes, nope.
Yep. It's stale energy. It's no longer working.
And I didn't learn. I was forced into having to have boundaries because of my MS. I don't think that I would have ever had any opinion or any like felt like I had any authority to voice that. I literally had physical limitations that I had to say, I can't do this. It has to be this way if you want me there. And same for you, Jo, where your grief sort of led you into this place of your authenticity. And so as heartbreaking and difficult as it is for us to deal with these things, it's kind of like where they talk about the gift of grief of like, what can you take from it? It does force you into your most authentic self. And I've watched Christina do it beautifully, and she's brought out so much more honesty in me of how I feel about this. And I've watched that with you. And I think that it doesn't take away the pain, but it allows you to find a voice.
Also makes us badass bitches.
Yeah, we're badass bitches for sure. But you guys, we were groomed. Like, we were for sure groomed to be the good girls that showed up on time and like did their job. And by the way, I do have those expectations still at work. I'm like,
oh, hell yeah. Yes, you should. Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Show up early.
Yes,
show up early.
Correct. Yes. Oh God.
Always
Love this. We should
always early.
Let's do a show together, guys.
Okay.
Cool. But
you can wheel me around, but I'll always be there early.
I love it. But I also think there's something so like that, you know, when I talk about, you know, how the grief changes you, and it's like you don't actually have to make something of it. Like, it can be a shit sandwich.
Yeah.
And it forever will.
2 words.
Yeah.
Shit sandwich. Wait, what am I referencing? Come on, JoAnna.
2 words. Shit sandwich.
What?
So 2-word review. Shit sandwich.
Who gave you a review? Did someone give you a review?
It's from a movie. Come on.
Oh, I'm the worst at this. Like you would be
you're
like,
gonna have
are
to
you
get
even
good at
in
it in
our
a minute.
business?
Yeah.
Oh God.
That's a
I'm
perfect
gonna fail. If I'm
segue.
playing a game, you're gonna.
Well, where is that from?
Spinal Tap.
Oh.
Rob
okay,
Reiner
all
says,
right.
well, you had one review that just said it was shark sandwich, and he said it just says shit sandwich. It just made me laugh so
sandwich.
much.
Well, let's hope we never get that review.
Yeah, no shitting, no kidding. But I actually often review things as shit sandwich.
Because they are, probably. I trust your opinion. Well,
Yes.
Christina does this fabulous thing at the end of each episode with our guests where all we're going to ask you to do right now, Jo, is say 5 of your favorite movies. Don't think too hard about it. Think movies that you could watch over and over again. Like you don't have to be like, oh my God, what are the 5? Just like the 5 that just come up for you. And she's going to sort of take these movies and then tell you something from it.
Don't think about them.
Okay.
Movies that you'd watch over and over and over again right now.
This is 40. Oh my God. Pretty
I'm not
Woman.
Judging you.
I know. Pretty Woman. My Girl, but I haven't watched it in a really long time. So
Doesn't matter.
I'm not going to be tested on that. Step Brothers.
Fuck
I
yeah.
love this. This is just such a good list.
Just now.
Such a good list.
I think we're just
How many
best
do I
friends.
have?
We're
How
pretty
many
much
more do I
good.
have to give you?
We just watched Step Brothers last night, so there you go.
It's so fucking
Okay.
good. And
For
all
the
their outtakes.
50th time. Okay, give me another one. One more. One more. That's it. And then you guys are going to talk about more things that I want you to talk about.
Okay, while you do your
Frozen.
thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Frozen.
Don't
She
judge
said
me.
Frozen.
Okay.
Okay. Well, while Christina does her thing, everyone let Netflix season 4, Sweet Magnolias, happyplace.com or Happy Place on Instagram. What else, Jo? What else do we need to put out there for you? As if that wasn't enough.
That's it. That's what I've been up to.
And you've got a lot of things in the burner, in the oven that we can't talk about yet, but stay tuned.
Yes. It's going to be a fun summer.
Good.
It's going to be a fun summer.
Oh, she's got it.
I'm getting something. Ugh. No, you guys give me
give
me
it.
30 more seconds. Give me
Okay.
30 more
Yeah,
seconds.
take your
please.
Okay.
Talk about something beautiful about this beautiful woman that we've had the pleasure of talking to today.
I know. Well, I'm just so glad that you've got the opportunity to know one of my very best friends and why I love her so much and why is she so special.
Okay, I have it.
Okay.
You've got to stop judging yourself when you're working.
Oh.
Because you're not letting it all come out. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're not letting
that.
it all come out yet. And this isn't about your talent. This is about you. It's about judging yourself when you get on set, judging everything you're doing. Am I doing this right for this person? Am I doing this right for this person? Am I doing this right? I need you to like literally open up the fucking coat and go, I'm here, bitches. And
I'm here, bitches.
And maybe in life too. I'm here, bitches.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm getting from this.
Oh my
I'm
God.
Here.
I literally just had a healing session when I was in Aspen, Colorado last week. And she's a medium. And she said, when you get on the mountain today, put your arms in the air and say to the world and the universe and to like spirit, I am here.
Holy fuck.
Fuck off. No, you didn't. You're not saying that because I see you now.
Swear to
I
God.
I see you going like this.
Did it. Yeah,
and going
I went
like that.
with my sticks in the air and I was
Okay.
like, I'm here.
Okay.
And my kids were like, Mom, don't be embarrassing. But I was like, yeah, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. Wow.
That's why I said,
That's
I'm here, bitches.
so cool. Thank you.
Fucking amazing. And she's always blows my mind that she can tap in that way.
I don't even want to know how, but that is beautiful.
It's a beautiful gift.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm here.
You're here. I'm here, bitches. You have to say that.
I'm here, bitches.
And tear it open from here, right?
Mm.
You got to get the skin off so your cape
it.
can show. I'm here, bitches.
I love it. Thank you.
Yes,
I am here, bitches. Oh, what a gift. That was such a exclamation point from the
truly
other
what a
side.
beautiful way to end it. And now I'm just going to pull a card from our deck and read it to us, and then we'll affirm it with "and so it is" and let you go back to your day. But JoAnna, thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for doing this with us.
I love you both so much. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Okay. I am responsible. Although I may not be able to prevent the worst from happening, I am responsible for my attitude toward the inevitable misfortunes that darken life. Bad things do happen. How I respond to them defines my character and the quality of my life. I can choose to sit in perpetual sadness, immobilized by the gravity of any loss, or I can choose to rise from the pain and treasure the most precious gift I have, life itself. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
This show is executive produced by Christina Applegate, Jamie-Lynn Sigler, and Allison Bresnick. Our audio engineer is Josh Windisch.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to leave the show a rating or review. Hi, it's Jamie. Thanks for listening. I just want to let you know I am a paid spokesperson for Novartis, but this podcast is independent from my collaboration with Novartis.